Hello everybody, this is John from PhoneDog.com, and I got home late last night from London, and I do mean late. The trip was full of delays, mix-ups, and confusion, but I got a free trip to England, so, what can I say? I have no complaints. There were a lot of seasoned professionals at this event, some of the biggest names in tech blogging, and I'm sure you've already seen their posts on the Hero. Great pictures, all the specifications, and some great writing. And I felt like not only was that content going to be available, but going up against people like Engadget and sites like that, I didn't want to deliver a lesser post. So I decided to approach this from a different perspective. If I hadn't gone, I would be wondering what goes on at these things. What is it really like to be there? So I've decided to try to deliver that experience to you through a series of videos, and I'm not really sure how many yet because I'm not done editing it. After the unveiling, they broke us into groups of 8 to 12 people, and then we got to spend time with one of 3 executives for about 20 minutes. My group was fortunate enough to be placed in a room with HTC's Chief Innovations Officer, Horace Luke. Also in the room was Cool Hunting's Tim Yu, and Cool Hunting is a site dedicated to style and design. So Tim Yu was asking Horace Luke all kinds of questions that got him speaking pretty passionately about the design of the Hero, and I think it's fascinating stuff, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to it.
I believe that people want one-hand device. Yes, there are some people who want tablet and they will, do a bunch of different gesture on the tablet. But fundamentally, people would still want a phone factor because we all want to be stylish. They want to put it in the pocket and not have to worry about it bulging out left and right. So the form factor actually came from this kind of ergonomic fundamental, and then on top of that, I think feeling the product is very different too. When you touch something, you buy a thing, you can tell when you put your fingertip on it is whether or not it's leather or fake leather. You can feel it. You can feel if something is different. And in our case, this feels different because it's just very soft and almost ceramic-like. And most people don't know why it feels like that. But they just know that it feels special and different. And we want to do that. And then, of course, you guys look at a lot of style and design, right? You see people exploring different textures and different materials. That's what, same thing with phone design. Phone design is getting to be this very fashion-driven design. When you leave your phone at home, you go back and get it. But if you leave your wallet, you can probably borrow money from your colleague to get through the day. It's okay. But you lose your phone, oh my God, end of the world, right? You're going home and getting that phone, or you calling everybody trying to figure out where did you leave that phone? These are lifestyle statements these days. Why have something that look like the guy next door that has the same thing? That's what I push my team to go do, and that translated into UI, translated to hardware.
So did you have a particular subset of people in mind that you were designing for?
I think it's if you ask people what they want for a design, they won't tell you. They can't because they don't know. But they can judge. They can say, I like or don't like. That's it. I like it or I don't like it. What we want to do is create something that was eye-catching, that was a controversial, conversation piece, that at least it looks a little bit different than anything else you have in the market. That, to me, is the most exciting part, is to create something that people can aspire to and look at and go, wow, that's kind of cool. Have you seen that HTC phone? Which one are you talking about? I'm talking about the one with the angle. You can go like this. Bam, instantly, right? Easy to communicate. I think this is a great design because it pushes the boundary of what people are comfortable with, calling a phone as a design. And the UI, the lusciousness of the UI when you saw it, I got an amazing UI team, that just continued to push boundaries on both usability and also visual design overall.
Getting a bit more specific, how did you guys accomplish the sort of anti-smudge?
It's a coating that we put on the screen. The anti-fingerprint isn't exactly it's like waterproof versus water resistant. It's not fingerprint proof. But what it does do is when you put it in your pocket, and then you take it, because you go through the day just, having it in your pocket, because it's so easy to get fingerprint off it. See that? By putting it in my pocket and taking it out, the fingerprint just completely wiped off. So every time you take a device out of the pocket or out of a pouch, you feel like a completely cleaned off, brand new device. That's the beauty of this coating. But it's a coating on top of the glass that makes us do that. It's molecularly bonded into the glass.
And what are the advantages of the Teflon coating, which is only on the white one, correct?
It's on the white one and not on the brown one. But we have other colors that we work on.
And is it just something that sort of feels different, or are there specific advantages of it?
It feels different. People have not been able to do matte white because it's like a piece of paper, it gets dirty. So every white phone out there has been, glossy white for a reason, for resisting stain. But we wanted to do something almost like ceramic, almost like porcelain. And that was the vision. And in order to do that, they had to develop a new paint process. And it took about 6 months to go through that. The first rep was horrible. The first round, I remember the first round was horrible. It took 6 months to get it fine-tuned to be right. But, just those little details matters a lot. How you touch something, how you feel it, is a decision of whether or not you like it or not like it. It's a huge, it might seem like the tiniest of detail, but it makes the world on a decision of whether or not you love something or you don't love something.
Can you expand upon, that idea of, it being about the tiniest of details? What was so bad about that first round that you didn't like, and why is it better now?
Teflon didn't work well with paint. Paint, just like it resists dirt, it resisted paint. So the first round was horrible. But you keep pushing on, you keep trying new things, And that's the thing about our design team, is that if you look at our design team, it's not a bunch of style masters who just style a bunch of design. It's not. Everything from software design to hardware design, every one of them is as engineering focused as they are design focused. They have to figure out how to make it work. They are the modern renaissance man of today. They are the guys that go take a little spark in the dream and they go make it happen. Drew is as technical as probably some of our developers, because he has to go and argue this. Like, why can't you do that? I would do it this way, And what about this way? What about that way? So most of our designers are. That's why I got this guy, the big guy right next to me, because he tells me yes or no, we can do it or not do it. Because I'm not that smart yet, but I think it's about just questioning whether or not you can do it better and do it different, and then just keep trying. Never be fearful of failing. Just try it. People just get it. People just look at it and go, "Wow, that's cool." And then when they play with the UI, they're like, "That's very cool. That's very different, than anything else." So I think that's the good part about this. I think the good part hasn't started yet, though, because I really look forward to all the developers, because right now, I say honestly, you take the G1, it's still a very nerdy phone. We probably would carry one or have one, but it's pretty first generation. I mean, this doesn't look like first generation anymore. It looks like something's, could be a matter of lifestyle. And then that's when people develop great applications on it.
When you talk about developers, are there going to be anything specially for developers to develop for the Hero, or
Are there special like SDK hooks or some UI stuff?
We're going through that at the moment, making sure that most of it is done with the general Google SDK and Alliance there. But if there's something special, we'll make sure we'll let the world take advantage of it. We're not that I just want to see people do cool things with it.